Are you like me and just cannot believe that this is Thanksgiving week? Crazy, right? And if you have been impacted by a layoff, you're probably dreading the holidays, right? Getting with friends and family who may not know you've been impacted yet, or who may know and they ask the dreaded question. So, how's it going? Have you found a job yet? Trust me, I know how it feels. And while Thanksgiving is a season of being thankful and having gratitude, when you're in this space, sometimes it's hard to be able to do so. So, I wanted to spend this episode to talk about gratitude in the job search and what you do not see while you're in it. So, my name is LT, Latanya, and you've joined the Exit to Excel podcast. And this is the podcast where people who are looking for a job or looking to accelerate in their career, this is where we get together and discuss our frustrations, our fears, and our wins and our triumphs, and the strategies that help us exit to excel. So, if you're joining me for the first time, then thank you. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. Share this with someone who can use this information because, unfortunately, as we see in the news every day, companies are trimming down their workforces. I mean, Verizon just announced that they are downsizing by 14,000 people right here at the holidays, right here at the holidays. It sucks. It really does. So I understand that a lot of people are going to be, you know, going into this week or in this week with a lot of feelings. And some of you are, starting Thanksgiving with a full house and a full heart. But yet, some of us may be walking around with questions and uncertainties and pressure on our shoulders. And at the same time, walking around trying to pretend like, we're okay, even when we're not. So if you are navigating a job search right now and dealing with a layoff or even feeling stuck, the holidays just don't feel very holidayish, right? You don't feel like celebrating. But that's what this episode is focused on: how to find gratitude in the midst of whatever season you're in. So, as you guys know, I've been in a layoff situation transition 4 times. And most of them, as I've talked about, occur in October because a lot of companies will reduce their workforces in order to meet their year end numbers. So it's a horrible time to be losing your job. But, it's not to say that we can't have gratitude. You absolutely can. And so that's what I want to talk about with you today: how I've done it and how people that I've coached have done it as well, so that you too can be thankful this holiday season and have and show gratitude. But sometimes we just need people to point out the things that we need to be thankful for, even when it seems as though everything around us is burning down. So today we're going to talk about that. And it's not the type of, pretty social media type of gratitude, but it is the kind of gratitude that shows up in periods of uncertainty. The kind that feels different when you have been laid off from your job or recovering from a layoff, because it is different. And so that's what we're going to focus on. So I didn't realize until recently we had an event for my building, and I was talking to another entrepreneur, and I was like, this entrepreneurial life is rough. It's real rough. And he said to me, he said, Latanya, he said, you're right. He said, Look, the life of an entrepreneur is bipolar. One minute you feel like you're on top of the world, you're killing it, you're crushing it. He said the next minute you can be suicidal. And the assistant manager walked up, she heard us talking because I was still talking about how hard it was. And she said, Latanya, I didn't realize until, recently or somebody told me that you were laid off from your job last October. And I said, yes, it's been a year. And she said, but you have held it down. You have kept going. You are still moving ahead. And I said, yeah, she said, that is something to be proud of. Like that right there in and of itself, you have been able to maintain, you have been able to, take it one day at a time, move forward, make progress. That is a lot to be proud of. And I had to pause for a minute and be like, you know what? You're right. But we never think about celebrating the small steps, celebrating the ability just to get up the next day and have a smile on our face. So, gratitude when you're job searching is that it is being thankful for seeing another day. It is being thankful for the clarity that you're gaining through this process. It is being thankful for having the time and the space to now reevaluate what it is you truly want to do, what it is you're good at, where's your passion. It is also being thankful for the people who show up, checking on you. Hey, just checking to see how everything goes. And it's also being thankful for the small wins. Like I said, when you're so heads down this process, and especially when you have the pressure of finances and everything else, you forget to celebrate the small wins. And so you need to celebrate them even when no one else does. The call back, the phone screen, um, a very good interview. Celebrate the small wins because everything matters. Because even though gratitude doesn't eliminate the challenges that we have or that we're going to see, it absolutely strengthens our resolve while we're in the middle of them. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and you can absolutely learn and grow from every adversity that you face. Now, the thing is, sometimes gratitude won't show up until later, right? You don't realize the blessing that you're already in until it's already past and you're on the other side of the setback. And that's okay too, because everybody's journey is different and everybody's walk is different. So I do understand and realize that for some people, it takes them a little bit longer to get there. Okay. Now, let's talk about what you can still be grateful for even now, even after getting let go from your job, even after being downsized 2 weeks before the holidays, even after looking for a job for 6 months and not finding anything. We can still be grateful because the thing is, and a lot of people will say, hey, you should still be grateful, right over. But nobody really tells you the how. So what we're going to break down is the 5 things on how you can intentionally center yourself to be great, to be grateful around this Thanksgiving season, even if you are still waiting on that yes and that ideal job. Okay. So, number 1 is be grateful for the pause, and that is the break. How many of us have worked for 10, 15, 20 years on a job and just get 2 weeks off, get 3 weeks off? And sometimes we don't even take the time off. Or if you're off, you're kind of still working because you have to get on this call or you have to, combine it with a client visit, whatever. So you never really are truly off. When you've been released from your job, you are truly released. And I, like me and other people, that is the only real time you've been able to truly disconnect. And this disconnect time, even though you didn't choose it, it is giving you time to breathe. It is giving you time to think. It is giving you time to heal. It is giving you time to reflect. It is giving you time to spend quality time with your friends and family. So when I got laid off last October, it was like 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. I was like, well, I don't have to worry about jumping on any calls. I don't have to worry about, rushing back. I don't have to worry about getting on a plane, going anywhere. So I am really going to enjoy my Thanksgiving holiday and not have to worry about being on anybody's schedule or deadline. So appreciate it, be thankful for it, because a lot of people never get that opportunity. Gratitude number 2, be thankful for your skills and experience. Look, in the job that you left, you gained experience, you did real work, you made real impact, and your layoff didn't take away any of that. And those are things you're going to be able to take with you. You're going to be able to take away, you're going to be able to take with you your skills. You're going to be able to take with you the training that they provided for you. If they paid for certifications or licenses, you're going to be able to take that stuff with you. You're going to be able to take with you the challenges that you overcame. So I was coaching a young lady one time. She had been with her organization for, I think, 23 years, and she was so bitter and angry that they had let her go. And I said, look, we need to go through an exercise. I said, we are going to thank your organization for the 22, 23 years of skills and experience that you gained that you didn't have when you went there. We're going to thank them for the 22 years of the pay and benefits that you received to be able to support yourself and your family. And then we're going to thank them and we're going to set them free. And she was like, I'm going to thank them. I said, absolutely, because you still came out at a higher level. You came out at a higher pay rate. You came out with more experience. And for that, you can be thankful. And I think there's something in her head that a light bulb went off where she was able to look at the company differently and be appreciative for the things that she was able to leave with that actually parlayed into her being able to get a better job at a higher pay and a higher level. And that's what it's all about. So again, even though you may still be looking, you are now more experienced than you were when you started that job. Even if it was just like maybe even a week or two, there was still something to learn. Gratitude number 3, gratitude for learning something about yourself. So transitions reveal things to us that we tend to miss when we're on autopilot. Like when you know where you're working, where you have to go, what you got to do, running from, call to call, client site to client site, getting off work, picking up kids, cooking dinner, whatever. You never really truly have time to reflect on your resilience, your creativity, your vision, your adaptability, and your strength. But in this season, you're able to reflect on all of that, and it teaches us all something. So I know for me, um, just having that time and space to reflect, and thank goodness for my dog because he got me out 2 and 3 times a day. I've spent a lot of time walking around, just thinking through things and having conversations with people that sparked even, more ideas and reflection that I probably would not have thought of on my own. So even if you're still in the process of trying to figure it out, that's okay. You now have the time and the space to do it even more. And clarity always comes, trust me. Gratitude number 4 is for the people who show up. Now, I will be the first to say, when you get laid off, it seems as though your phone is disconnected because no one really calls. It's like you're a forgotten memory. And that has been my experience more often than not. And after the 4th layoff, I've just come to know that's what it is. And, I've done a post about how your coworkers are not your friends. Nothing shows you that more than after you've been laid off from a job. So it was like you had a plague. However, there are those gems that will show up and check on you, that will offer their assistance, that will reveal themselves in your time of need. And it's those people that tend to, make your heart more full than if, maybe even 10 people that you would have expected to did. So be grateful for those people and, be grateful for the ones who check in, be grateful for the ones who offer their assistance, be grateful for the ones who simply listen, because that is your real community. Those are your people. And then finally, gratitude for the opportunities you have not yet seen. Now, I am I'm big on anticipation, speaking positivity, and envisioning what it is I'm going to get and going to receive. So the thing about career transitions is most people that I know, they transition into something even better than what they left. But you have to believe it and you have to see it and you have to believe that it's coming and be grateful that it is on its way. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about, on a practical level, how gratitude shows up in your job search. Because gratitude isn't just emotional, it is strategic and it is a very important part of your job search. The first thing I do when I work with my clients is assess their mental state. Because if they are in a state of bitterness, negativity, it's hard for them to present their best self in front of a recruiter. It is hard for them to meet someone networking. Let's say you meet somebody at Trader Joe's, and for a person to say, "Hey, I like that person's energy. I want that person on my team. I think they'd be a great asset to my organization." So the first thing we have to address is our mental state. And so here's how you do it. Gratitude improves your confidence all the time. When you focus on what's still working and the small wins, you show up differently. And it shows up differently in your applications, in your interviews, your networking. And again, because I've been through this so many times, and I was confident in anticipating that only the best was yet to come, I would meet people walking around, and a question that people tend to ask you after your name and that kind of thing is, "What do you do?" And I would say, "Well, yes, I'm an HR business partner chapter." And some people like, "Oh, wow. Well, that's a great attitude to have." And sometimes those interactions led to other conversations where people wanted to know more about what I did and where I did it, and were willingly um, helping me network, make connections, and those kinds of things. So when you are grateful, you then become confident, and it shows up in everything that you touch. Number two, gratitude rewires your brain for problem solving. So science shows, look, that practicing gratitude activates the part of brain that is responsible for creativity, clarity, logic, and resilience. And those are the things, that mental clarity, that is invaluable in your job process, because everything you do tells a story. Everything is connected. Everything is a part of who you are. So having that clarity is so important. Three, gratitude makes you more magnetic. And again, I see this all the time. And it kind of goes back to where you're confident. People want to help people who are positive. People are drawn to people who have, you hear it all the time, good energy, right? And these are people who tend to have that good energy despite their challenges. So when you network from a grounded place and not from a place of desperation or bitterness, it definitely helps you create genuine connections with people. Number four, gratitude helps you stay consistent. which is also important in a job search. Look, I will be the first to admit the job search is a grind. It is a grind, it is a marathon. And you need to have the right energy and the right mindset to be able to stay organized and stay on top and present your best self day after day after day. And even keep going when the results aren't showing up as fast as you want them to. So when you have gratitude, it helps you stay consistent. It helps you for the long game, right? Okay, now here's something that I want you to do. I want to give you a gratitude practice for job seekers. And it's only going to take 5 minutes. So you can either screenshot this on your screen or, down below. But I want you to do this, especially if you feel like you aren't in a good place or in the place you need to be this holiday season, being around your friends and family, or even, if you're presently or currently networking or interviewing. So write down these 4 things. I want you to answer them. The first thing is one thing I'm proud of this year. Okay. Now, mind you, I was laid off last October, so it's been over a year for me, but I can probably think of 10 things that I'm proud of, extremely proud of. 2, one thing I've learned about myself. 3, one person I'm grateful for. And then 4, one opportunity I'm excited about, even if I don't see it. This is your grounding practice. And a great practice is to do this, every day. If you only just want to do it for the Thanksgiving season, that's fine. But it's a stark reminder that you're not starting from zero and you are starting from wisdom, and only the best is yet to come. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today, because I know this year has been an extremely difficult year for several reasons for me personally. I mean, not just on the job front, entrepreneur front, but, losing close friends and all of that. So, it's a hard time for many people. But, if this year has been hard or heavy or confusing, know that I see you, right? If you're worried about money, interviews, offers, or timing, I understand that too. And if you're trying to still put on a good face and, smile during Thanksgiving with your friends and family, even though you're not really feeling it, you're not alone. But here's what I do believe with my whole entire being. You are not done. You are not behind. And you are not forgotten. I truly believe that everyone is exactly where they're supposed to be when they're there. And you will come to understand that in time. But know that even if you've been laid off, you're in transition, you're not starting over. You're just in a position to exit to excel, and you are in the process of elevating, even if you don't quite see it yet. So as you head into Thanksgiving, hold your gratitude close, not in a way to eliminate or minimize the challenges that you're going through, but as a way to magnify your strength, because you are powerful, you are strong, and you are capable. And your breakthrough is already on its way, is already looking at you. You just need to hang on in there. All right. So, with that, have a happy and safe holiday with your families. And I'll see you on the next episode of Exit to Excel. Take care.